Hey there, it's Bobby Legs, and welcome to another episode of Bobby Legs Loves Watches. And happy 2022, happy new year to you all. This is the first video that I'm doing of the year. I haven't done one in a few weeks. I've been doing some live streams on a weekly basis, but it is State of the Collection season on YouTube. And I feel like it's appropriate to do the first video of the year, State of my watch collection. Now, a lot has changed, and I feel like my collection is a little anemic these days, especially with the mechanical watches. Now, I'll be going over some of the digital, the G-Shocks and whatnot, and then I'll go into the mechanical watch portion of my collection. And you'll notice from my previous State of the Collections and collection updates over the last year that, the amount of watches has definitely shrunken, and there's been sort of a reason for that, although I wasn't really consciously doing it, but hopefully, as I go along with the State of the Collection, I'll explain to you what was going on in my mind during this last year, and how and where I see my collection going forward this year and in the future. So let's get to it. Let's flip that camera and get started. Okay, so let's kick off with the quartz, the digital, the solar powered portion of the collection. First, right off the bat, and I am embarrassed to say this doesn't have a charge, right? This watch does work. It's the G-Shock, the Square GW-MS5610BC on a combi bracelet. I wear this watch a whole lot in the summer, doing a lot of the yard work or playing around with the kids, as well as I'll bring this out, the DW5600. This watch on the right, the 5600, is such a workhorse. I bought it on Amazon a few years ago for around $40, maybe $45, and it is so tough. It is great. Again, I also wear this when I do a lot of yard work or playing around with the kids, or something I need to do, something that I don't want to be worried about, like what I have on wrist. And both these watches are very, very tough. This does work. I'm embarrassed to say that I just didn't charge it up for this review, but two great watches, a must in any collection, my opinion. This one in particular, look, when this dies out, I'll chuck it and I'll get a new one, right? I mean, this watch here will always be in my collection from now until the day I stop collecting or wearing watches, because it is just a great, tough watch to have. And much love for Casio G-Shocks, especially squares. I would love to have more of them. I go through phases where I collect them and then sell them. My wife has confiscated a camo, the Digicamo, the black Digicamo. My son has confiscated the Japanese City Lights Square. They love them too. So the Legs family, big fans of squares for sure. Speaking of squares, this is the other square in my collection, the Bling Master, also without a full charge. I mean, this is a great summer watch, without a doubt. This is the GMW, I believe, B5000 Seikyo, the Casio G-Shock, steel G-Shock here, the Bling Master. It is legendary in my opinion. That's taking it too far, but anyway, I love it. It's a legend in the household, right? It's loved or hated. My wife hates it. I love it. Great summer watch. Fits great. You get that bling factor without coughing up the thousands and thousands of dollars for a gold watch. Borderline tacky, maybe borderline, but that's okay. That's okay. This is a great watch and a fun watch to have. I love steel squares. I love also titanium squares, although they're pretty pricey. But the steel squares are fun. I used to own a Tron. I had a Tron, and that was fun. I would love to get that back, actually. I could collect steel full metal G-Shocks for sure. Next up is a watch that I can't believe I have in my collection. Oh man! So I have a couple of guys that in the watch community that I'm fairly close to. And we chat on a daily basis, and we've always been talking about getting like a group watch for, we've been talking about it for the last year and a half. And we went through Anordane, we went through like Rolex because of, good 3/5 of us have GMTs, and I hope to add one day. But this kind of happened very, very quickly. This is the John Mayer, the second John Mayer collab with Hodinkee and G-Shock, the DW6900B. And the first one came out, didn't do anything for me. I'm a big G-Shock. I like G-Shock squares. The other styles of G-Shocks are fine. They just don't tend to stay in my collection for a very long time. So anyway, going back to the story about the group watch, I was in the middle of something. I was driving, and I wasn't keeping up with the conversation in the chat between us and between me and my friends. And I had gone into an AD, and so I was kind of like out of the conversation a little bit. But in that meantime, in that hour or two, they had decided that they were buying this watch, and my buddy Amin placed an order for me on this one. So like it or not, I was getting it, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. It was just under $100 or $200. And I'm like, sure, okay, fine. I wasn't crazy about the watch, but we got a group watch, and I got to tell you, surprisingly, I really like this watch a lot. It's just a fun watch, man. I mean, like, that's the thing with G-Shocks, Casio watches. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have a good time with these watches, right? So if you make a mistake, you can probably find somebody to buy the watch off of you, and it's not that big of a mistake. But I like it. It's off white. I think if it was just like stark white, like this glove here, I don't know. That would have been a little bit too much. But I don't know. It's just such a cool watch. And I'm not a big John Mayer fan, but I mean, I don't care. Whatever. I mean, I like the fact that he is a watch collector. I'm just not into his music. I appreciate that he is a great guitarist, but he's just not for me. But this is fun. This is a fun collection. Now, I'm not going to seek out the first one because I like to collect in sets. I'm not that interested in it. Although I could see people bundling this up with the first one and probably making some good money off of these. I think these are selling over retail now on eBay because they're all sold out. But fun watch. We'll keep it for sentimental reasons, right? For sure. Now, another watch was actually gifted to me by a friend, and this is the Marathon Desert Tan Pilot. Very cool digital quartz watch. Does have the tritium tubes in there for the lume, so very, very cool. A field watch kinda, or pilot watch, because it's got this bezel here. Just a really, really cool watch. It's not bronze. I just got this watch recently, so I'm not really too familiar on it. We'll do a review on it very soon. But it doesn't hit all the marks of the ticks. That's totally fine. I think these retail now for over $400. I thought I saw it maybe before Christmas at around $380, but now I checked the site just to get some more information on this, and it's up there. It's over $400. So that's interesting, unexpected, and very, very cool. It comes on this NATO strap, and it's a fun watch. It's very, very light, very, very light, because this is not a stainless steel case, but super, super fun watch to have, and a great little story. And my friend gave it to me as a gift, and I really, really appreciate it, and it's one that I'll keep for sure. Heading off now to the Baltic Bicompax collaboration with the Revolution magazine, the Rake, limited to 250. This is a manual wine chronograph. I believe it's a Seagull. I could be wrong. I will be doing a review on this very shortly. I picked this up for review purposes. I had a HMS02, which is a Baltic, like a sector dial 3-hander. I believe that's the reference number. And, I liked the look of it, and a friend of mine had it and sent it in for review. but I was a little disappointed on how it wore. And so I wanted to get this watch in to take another look at it. Waco, the founder, I believe he was the founder of the Revolution watch, had some interesting comments on Etienne, the founder of Baltic. And I will be doing a video on that shortly, on my thoughts on what Waco had said. But I truly brought this in just to review and probably will sell it off very soon. I didn't buy this with the intention of keeping it, although I'm kind of intrigued by Baltic. But this is a 36.5 millimeter watch, so it's small. It's very small for a chrono too. Put it on wrist, and I don't know. It's just a little small. I mean, it feels so light. I mean, it feels like there's nothing there. But it's a look. I mean, Baltic, they make good looking watches. It's a very popular micro brand. They borrow design cues from you name it. Patek, Omega, Longines, I see here. And they package it up into an affordable price, and a lot of people like Baltic. There's a huge following. So anyway, review on this soon, or more of a commentary on the collaboration with Revolution coming soon. So let's jump into the other mechanicals of the collections, the core pieces. Like I said, I'm down to 4. Not really by design, but it kind of, I guess, happened by design. I don't know, So I'm going to start off with a couple of the ones you've seen in plenty other collection reviews. The 2 watches that I've had in my collection the longest. My first luxury purchase back in 2005. It was the Girard-Perregaux Seahawk 2. I love this watch. I knew nothing about watches really, other than like Rolex and Tag Heuer at the time, and Seiko. And I was hanging out with some guys who were making some good money, and one of them had this watch, and I knew nothing about Girard-Perregaux, and all I knew was like I wanted that watch. I was like, I want that watch. So a few days later, I found a dealer here in the state that I live in, and they carried Girard-Perregaux, and they carried this watch. And so I've had this watch for, wow, like almost 16 years right now, actually. And it's still in great shape. And I wore this watch a lot, but it's still in great shape for sure. I love the power reserve here at the 6 o'clock, the little date window at the 1:30 mark. And I know that bothers some people, not me. Just a really cool diver, 1,000-meter diver. Just awesome. I love it. Love the 4 o'clock crown here. Just fits great. It's big. I mean, the lug to lug is around 53. And let's just see if I can throw this on wrist without making it go crazy here. I always have a problem. I have this on an Erica Originals NATO, and it's super comfortable and it's awesome, but I always have a problem getting it strapped in. So, but I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, and so it's big, but I like it, and I'll always keep it in my collection for sentimental reasons. At minimum, I almost sold it about a year or 2 ago, and Mrs. Legs almost had my kneecaps busted because she bought a rubber strap for it a few years back, and she was like, "There's no way you're selling that watch," and she was right. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't sell it. So first love here in watch collecting. This really started the journey for me. Next up is the Panerai Luminor PAM 176 titanium. I bought this off of a friend of mine who was or is a watchmaker, and back in 2006, 2007, and I love this watch. 6497 powering it, just super fun. I haven't had this serviced at all. It's probably not keeping the greatest of time, but I don't know. I kind of just like the fact that it's maybe like a minute off a day. That's totally fine. It's probably not even that much. It's probably less than that. But super fun. This watch, I have more straps for this watch than any other watch in my collection. And this is a Bosphorus strap. They're based out of Turkey. This is a textile strap. I also picked up recently a leather strap, like a vintagey looking leather strap for this watch. You can put anything on these watches. They're so much fun to dress up. You know, you get a little bit bored with them, and you put a different strap, and it gives it new life. I'm not gonna put the strap all the way on because it's stiff and it takes a little while for me to get it off. But looks so cool. I mean, this is a big watch as well. 44 millimeter case diameter, but the lugs are short, and it feels great on wrist. So much fun. Very, very legible. I know people get a little bent out of shape that doesn't have a seconds hand, so it's like, I can't tell that it's that it's working or that it's charged. But just, I don't know, just look in the back, and if this balance wheel is moving, and you got a working watch at the time. So or just put it next to your ear, you could hear a tick. Anyway, love this watch. Super fun. My default travel watch when I don't have a GMT style watch in the collection. I don't know. I just like to bring this along for when I go on trips. It's just a fun watch, super fun. Okay. I guess was going in chronological order with the mechanical watches, starting with the Girard-Perregaux. I'm not really counting this since I feel like it's going to be leaving the collection soon, or maybe not. I don't know. What do I know? But I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna save the one watch that I am head over heels for last, and jump into the Damasco DC56 SI. This is an awesome watch. I love this watch. It's a chrono. Value 7750 in it. I love Damasco. I've been chasing this watch for a really long time, and I was looking at the pre-owned market and wanting to pick up one with a bracelet, but they weren't really coming. I know you can buy the bracelet. The bracelet's kind of expensive. It's like $700. But you know what? I just wanted to pick one up. I was like, screw it. Let me just pick it up on strap. And I like it. I think I like it better on strap. I was thinking or toying the idea with buying the bracelet, and then I just talked myself out of it. This watch doesn't need to be worn on bracelet. Plus, somebody had mentioned that with the bracelet, it weighs a ton. So, okay, that's fine. I'll table that thought for a while, and maybe, down the road, I'll get the bracelet. Strap is awesome. Damasco straps are really, really good. This is not the first Damasco I've owned, but this clasp is awful. Oh geez, I got to do a review on this. This feels so chintzy. So I actually bought another strap from Damasco with a buckle, and so I should be getting that any day now, and I'll put it on there. But wow, disappointment on the buckle here for this clasp is very, I don't know. It's like Seiko-esque, Seiko under $500 dive watch esque. This is not a cheap watch. This is the SI version with a silicone escapement, and this watch retails for like $2,600. I didn't pay that because I got it pre-owned, but come on. I mean, it's like Zinn with their clasp. I mean, really, But the buckle, the pin buckle that I got, is fine, and that I'm very, very I'm going to be very, very happy with that. So I'm looking forward to that. But this is such a great watch, very, very legible. Lume is great. German watch. I'm a big German watch fan, as you know. Even though so many German watches have left the collection this year or last year, they came in and came out. It's almost embarrassing. But love this watch. Gonna keep it for a while. Famous last words. I know if you know me, that's famous last words. But so the final watch, a watch that I sold many watches in my collection to get, right? I wanted to raise the capital for this. I sold about 4 or 5 watches to get there, and it's a watch that I've been chasing forever. not because I was waiting on a list, but like, you know, I had an opportunity to buy it like 14 years ago or 15 years ago soon. And I didn't. And I've been kicking myself since. And I finally was able to pick it up. And this is the Rolex Submariner, the 124060 no date version. And this watch is a beauty. Man, it fits so well. This is probably one of the best fitting watches, wearing watches on my wrist that I've ever put on. Really. And it's not because I'm just still in love with this watch, even though I've been honeymooning it with it for the last 3 months. I've been wearing it pretty much every day since I got it. But it fits really, really great. You have this glide lock clasp here for quick adjustment. It just tapers very, very nicely. Fits like a dream. Just excellent. I mean, you could just feel the quality. And to me, at MSRP, it's worth every penny. And I'm so happy that I have it in my collection. And now I have like Rolex on the brain, man. Like I want to add more Rolex this year or two, and hopefully I can add an Air King soon. Hopefully a GMT one day if I get lucky, and a Datejust, and that's where I'm going, you know, with my collection. I'm also thinking. Let me put this on wrist so I can show you guys. I'm also thinking Omega. Yeah, I've never owned an Omega. I think maybe it's about time that I give Omega a shot. I've been thinking about the Speedmaster, the Man on the Moon, the Sapphire Sandwich lately. I had zero interest in the Speedmaster forever, and then all of a sudden, I guess maybe I'm watching too much Archie Luxury, but all of a sudden, like, you know, I've been thinking about that Speedmaster, and it's such a cool, awesome, iconic chronograph, and so I think I want to add that to the collection. I love the Aquaterra line as well. The Globemaster line is very, very interesting. I love just the regular three-hander with a date on the blue dial, but that annual calendar is just, it's talking to me too. What a nice way to add an annual calendar to your collection and stay under, like $10,000, you know, for a luxury brand. And then I know you get a lot for what you pay for with Omega. So maybe I'll give Omega a shot at some point this year. You know, I'm looking at Zenith again. A Zenith Pilot is also interesting. Looking forward to seeing what Tudor puts out this year. I'm hoping, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm hoping for a Black Bay 58 GMT. I just don't see it happening anytime soon because they'll be cannibalizing on the 41 GMT. But wouldn't that be great? That would sell out so quickly. Also, maybe a green Black Bay 58, a green colorway, kind of like the Harrods version of the 41, somewhere between that and a Cermet. You know what I mean? Like, you know how Tudor sometimes threads the needle between Rolex and other models in their catalog, the Tudor catalog. So would be really psyched to see something like that going on by Tudor, and that would be pretty kind of hard for me to pass up. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the collection. The collection is definitely going to change. If anything, I've learned anything in the last couple years, the collection, what it is on it in the January of the year, ends up being totally different by December. I say a lot of things like these are keepers, or I'm gonna get this and that, and it totally gets blown up. So it's really, my collecting for me is a train wreck. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the State of Collection. I hope you guys have a great 2022. Go watch hunting. Have a good time, get some great watches, experience some great watches, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. If my channel is new to you and you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and click that bell icon to get updates when I upload new videos. I love making these videos and I hope you like them too. And also, if you want to support the channel, please buy me a cup of coffee. The link is in the description. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.